Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings. Everton 1, Fulham 1. But unfortunately, the only scoreline that matters is the 7-6 win on penalties for Fulham, who advanced to the semi-finals. So close yet so far. Amadou Onana, what were you doing? What were you doing? Going from hero to villain in the space of 3 days. I'd like to think he'd learn from it, but I can't imagine he'll ever be involved in another penalty shootout again for Everton. One of those nights when playing against the team that I don't think they're rubbish, to be fair, but I didn't think Everton were much better tonight, to be honest. They scored very fortuitously, but we didn't really do much else either. So it was a game where you looked at both teams and thought both of them could do with not being there. Both of them looked stretched. Then we had, obviously, Garner stepping up as well. Yeah, and it's massively disappointing. It's massively disappointing because it was so close. It was so close. That one kick. And when you look at Tarkowski taking the next kick and he just smashes it in, and then James Garner, why was James Garner 7th? Was he 7th, the 7th penalty taker? Why was he the 7th penalty taker? Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. When it comes to who was, I'd have put Pickford before Garner. I'd have had Pickford before Garner. In terms of the game as well, I don't think the game suited us because they wanted us to have the ball, and we just couldn't break them down. To be honest, we couldn't break them down. That's not our style. That's not our kind of game. We're more on counter-attacking kind of football, aren't we? So it is. Listen, it is what it is. These games, when you've got a stretch squad, they always seem to come at the wrong time. Remember, was it 2019 when we played Leicester and we come back from 2-0 down, and it went to pens. Leighton Baines' last goal for Everton that night. Duncan was in charge, and it came to pens, and we lost on pens, and the team looked absolutely shattered after an unbeaten run. Well, I think the unbeaten run ended on. Well, it came for Duncan on the Saturday when we drew 0-0. So let's get into the player ratings anyway. Jordan Pickford. I'm seeing a lot of criticism of Jordan Pickford for the penalties. I'm a little bit bemused by that because, if I'm honest, he made one save and yes, he got his hand to 2 or 3 other saves, but to say he was poor, very, very strange. I wonder what our fans want sometimes. I really do. I thought he didn't really have any. I don't think he could do anything for the goal. It was another off Michael Keane, but I thought the penalties he got. All the penalties were all their penalties were actually good penalties, and he saved a big one. I just think sometimes we look to criticise people when people are just unlucky. Two of theirs were right in the corner, and yes, he's got his hands on one, but or two, but I just think I find it very strange sometimes what we look for. But there you go, each to their own. That's the way it is. So, would I have liked them to have would I have liked them to have saved another one? Yeah, I would have liked them to have saved another one. Was there a glaring one where I went, I should have saved that? No, I don't think there was. I think he got his hand. I think he saved a big one, and he was very unlucky with a couple of others not to get more on them. So, for me, I'm not going to attach any blame to Jordan Pickford whatsoever. So, the save he made should have been enough to win us it, really. If Onana does his job, it should be enough. I think now penalty shootouts, you watch most penalty shootouts, they go quite high because penalties are becoming more and more of this thing. There used to be this thing of penalties where people used to go, you can't practice for pens. Well, you can. It's called practicing for pens, isn't it? It's called practicing for pens, and more teams do it, and more players have better technique. That's why you see penalty shootouts going to higher and higher scores. Sometimes, they go round the bloody loop sometimes, the whole team. So penalties are getting harder and harder for goalkeepers to save. So I'm not criticising Jordan Pickford there at all for me. So I'll give Jordan Pickford a 7 for tonight. I can't really pull anything out of that. So I'll give him a 7. Nathan Patterson, he was okay. Wasn't amazing. 4 clearances, 1 block shot, 1 interception, 4 tackles, dribbled past twice, ground duels, won 5 out of 8, and aerial duels, 1 out of 3. I think he should have done better for their goal. If I'm honest, I think he should have been over to the fullback a lot quicker. I honestly think we should have played 3 at the back tonight. I think we should have stuck with what we did on the weekend and played him as a wing back. If I'm honest, I'll just show you there's his heat map there. So he is up and down the right hand side the whole game. He did get up, and there's a lot of red in the edge of their box. But I thought he was all right. I just thought he could have done a little bit better to close down the cross that led to the goal. I think he should have been a little bit more switched on, and I do think his position does need a little bit of work doing there. So, I think it needs a little bit more work. So, Patterson, I'll give him a 7 as well. Jared Brantwaite playing at left back. I thought for a lad playing left back, I thought he had a really good game. I thought he was trying to get up that side as much as he could. He won 4 out of his 5 ground duels, 3 out of 3 aerial duels. I'll just show you this heat map, and there you can see he's trying to get up and down that right hand side as much as he could tonight. So fair play to him for that as well. I thought he done really well for a player who's not really a left back. I thought he did really well. 64 touches, 71% pass accuracy, key passes 1. So I thought he did well tonight, Jared Brantwaite. Obviously, it's not somewhere I'd like to see him play regularly, but filling in, I thought he done well. But as I said, I would have been more comfortable with the 3 at the back tonight. But hey ho, the manager's made his decision. So I'll give Jared Brantwaite a 7.5. Michael Keane, very unlucky with the own goal. But that's just classic Michael Keane, isn't it? It's absolutely classic Michael Keane. He won 7 out of 8 aerial duels tonight. 4 clearances, 1 block shot, 2 interceptions. The couple of little moments where you're like, oh. But he did all right. He was good on the ball. He took his penalty was superb, to be fair. I was really confident. People around me were really nervous. I was like, you never seen Michael Keane take a penalty before? His penalties I've seen him take pens. I mean, it might have been like the Florida Cup or something, but his pens that I've ever seen have always been really good. So I was really confident with him to take the penalty, and he put it away brilliantly. So is his heat map for the game, so as you can see there again, lots of red moving towards their half. So, again, decent game for him. No real issues. But he is cursed. Isn't he? He is just cursed. It always happens. It always comes off him. It is classic. Why always me? So, Michael Keane, I would give a 7.1. James Tarkowski, another one who scored his penalty. I wish he'd taken the 5th one. if I'm honest. Just that person to just smash it down the middle. But hey-ho. 4 out of 6 aerial duels, 1 out of 2 ground duels, clearances 4, interceptions 2, tackles 1. And he was fine as well. He was fine. There wasn't that much work for them to do back there. I think they had like 2 shots. Pickford had to make a save, I think, in the second half, a decent save, and he had a couple of moments, but one late on where the ball went right across, I think, or certainly in the second half, ball went right across and looked like they were going to get a tapping at the back post. But they didn't have loads at all, did they? They didn't have loads. So James Tarkowski, I would give a 7. As I said, I thought the back 4 were fine tonight, to be honest. Idrissa Gana Gueye. I'll just show you this heat map. This is heat map all over that middle section of the pitch, all over it. Lots and lots of red hot spots. I thought he had a good game for the most part. Won 6 out of 11 ground duels, no aerial duels. I thought he was everywhere tonight again, but he's took the pen that's missed. The one that's missed, that's led to us losing the game, really. Although I think everybody knew when he stepped up. I think everybody knew that he was going to miss it, and to hit the post, he's tried to be mega accurate and he's hit the post. I don't know. If you're not sure, why not? I don't know. Can't tell professional footballers how to take a penalty, can you? Because it's the easiest thing in the world to tell someone what to do when you've never been in that situation, I suppose. But it was just a general feeling. And as I said, I think I'd rather Jordan Pickford had took a pen. I don't know whether they see it as almost like disrespectful that a goalkeeper would take a penalty. I'd have let Pickford take a penalty though, because I think he strikes the ball so cleanly. And I remember him doing it for England as well in the Nations League. He took one, didn't he? And he smashed it in. I think he saved a couple of pens as well. And he likes that Pickford. I think I would have let him take one before I let Idrissa Gana Gueye. So, but in the actual game, I thought he played quite well. So I think I'd give Idrissa Gana Gueye a 7.1. Amadou Onana. I mean, before we come on to the penalty, this is heat map from tonight. Didn't get about as much as Garner, but that's not his job. His job is to sit in front of the back 4 and distribute the ball. 6 out of 10 ground duels won. 2 out of 2 aerial duels won. 58 touches, 82% pass accuracy. In the game, he was fine. But that penalty was just... listen, I'm not going to go overboard. I'm not going to go overboard about it. It's just... I think Richarlison did this. I can't remember how long ago it was, but he did the same thing. I think it was a penalty shootout as well at the Gladys Street end. And he did exactly the same thing. Stepped up, cocky, did a stupid run-up, and then smashed it over the bar. He smashed it over the bar, and Onana's just tried to be clever, and he's tried to give the goalie he's tried to do the clever run-up, and he's tried to side foot it in the corner, and he's got it all wrong, and he's hit it right down the middle, basically. And I don't know whether he's bottled it at the last minute or what. I don't know. I've never seen him take a penalty before, so I don't know if he's ever taken one in a penalty shootout. But he's got it all wrong. I don't know whether with him being able to win the game, he's changed his mind. Again, I don't know. All I do know is that if you're going to score a pen and you're going to do that, you have to do it. It's like stepping up and saying you're going to do, like, you're going to do a Panenka. You have to do it, because otherwise you look stupid. I think I saw, who was it? Someone did it a few years ago for us as well. I don't think it was in a cup competition. I think it might have been in a pre-season game. I think it might have been Victor Anichebe. And we had an opportunity to win. And I remember he tried the Panenka and it didn't work. And I remember David Moyes absolutely bollocked him in front of everybody on the pitch. And it was like the thing of, what are you doing? What are you, like, not, it's that level of professionalism, isn't it? It's almost like when Balotelli tried that back heel for Man City. It's that thing of like, what are you doing? Why did you think that was a good idea to do that? It was so stupid, and I think everybody felt like that was the chance. And I think sometimes when you're in the ground, you feel the air. Just everyone's like on the edge, going, "This is it. We're ready to celebrate." And when it doesn't happen, everybody just deflates everybody, and then it's like, well, we've had our chance to win, so they're going to have a chance to win now. And they did, and they took it. And you could feel it in the ground. The minute he missed, everyone was like, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? And of course, you can never replay. And it's just like, again, he'll be sitting in the changing room going, why did it do that? Why didn't I just do something else? Or I don't know. It was just a foolish thing to do. If you're going to do it, you have to do it well. You have to put the ball in the back of the net, and he hasn't. And people will criticise him. People will criticise him, but it was stupid. It was absolutely stupid. So Onana, I would give a 6. His general play deserves more, but that penalty was just it was just one of them that we'll all replay for a very long time. James Garner, obviously playing higher up the pitch in that almost in that Decore role tonight. Just show you his heat map. You can see there on the left and on the right, but not necessarily down the middle. Worked hard. Never really got into any real areas. One key pass. I think he helped set up the goal, didn't he, as well? Big chance created, one. No shots on target, no shots off target. That's another thing, is like to see him get into areas where he can get shots off and hit the target more. 4 out of 12 ground duels won, which to be fair is more than what Decore does in that position. But we did miss Decore tonight. We missed that extra presence high up the pitch. Someone who floats between Dom and the midfield. Sadly, he wasn't there, was he? He wasn't there. So, again, this is something the managers, if Decore, if he's out for a long period of time, the manager's going to have to make his mind up about this position and get it sorted. Because last time when he was suspended, he did try different things. I think the manager has to come up with a plan and stick to it. Now, whether that's James Garner, well, so be it. But I don't know whether there was an opportunity tonight when we bring a better one to try Beto and Dom and see if that worked, or Danju. I don't know, but James Garner played the role, different player, good on the ball. But if you're going to play in that, you have to be a little bit more effective. I think you have to affect the game. Took his penalty really well. Surprising that he wasn't in the first 5 to take them. But hey ho, that's a decision that they have to make, obviously. And I don't know whether they practice pens and I'd come up with the 5 beforehand. I'm sure they had, but maybe Onana. I don't know. Maybe Onana was doing something amazing in training, but. James Garner, I'd give a 7. Jack Harrison, just show you this heat map. Lots of red on that right hand side there. Very much on that right hand side. I didn't think he was particularly great tonight, I must admit. Worked hard, but I didn't think he was particularly great. Don't think he really Don't think he really created too much. 6 dribbles attempted and only 1 successful. 3 out of 10 ground duels. 1. I think he had a shot, didn't he, that just flashed wide in the second half, which was a good opportunity. But I didn't think he played particularly well, Jack Harrison, tonight. He couldn't get himself going. He just couldn't get himself. Everything kept on breaking down, and everything was just a little bit like could just never get going. Yeah, crosses 3, 2 out of 3 accurate, which is quite good. But I didn't think he had a particularly good game tonight. Obviously went off in the 72nd minute, so not his night tonight. It happens. Did all right, played well Saturday, but just couldn't back her up tonight. So Jack Harrison 6.3. On the other side, Dwight McNeil again don't know if he could really get going tonight. Again, took the second penalty. Played on both sides tonight as well, which will do him good. No shots on target, 1 shot off target. To show you this heat map. So as you can see, on both flanks, obviously more on the red side, more on the left-hand side with the red there. Crosses 7, 1 accurate. Ground duels 5 out of 8. Yeah, he wasn't. He was all right, but again, didn't create that much. A lot of just like standing up crosses and things like that. So Dwight McNeil, I would say interesting on this. I'll give him a 6.9 for tonight. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin wasn't a great night for Dom, was he? Wasn't a great night. Went off after an hour. As I said, I would like to have seen the manager try both of them. Up front, him and Beto, but he decided to put Beto on. That's fine. He wants to keep the shape of the team. Just thought there might have been an opportunity to have a little go at them. 23 touches again. Isolated again. I don't know how we get the best of him, out of him. He just seems to be playing the same game every game. We don't seem to be getting the best out of him. There's a lot of people who, I see a lot of people criticising, and I just think you're mad. You're absolutely mad. That's my personal opinion. Because we've spent 2 years without him, and we know what it means to be without him. I'd rather have Dom on a bad day than have Mopai on a good day. For me. Because he occupies defenders. But he does need to do more, and he needs to, whether it's him himself getting into the games himself. Again, no Decore in there doesn't help him. Having another physical player around him, someone who can help get the second ball and then keep us up the pitch. We do isolate him quite a lot, and sometimes that's not an issue because we do play on the counter attack, but we don't create many chances for him. Now, maybe it's up to him. He needs to work harder to get those opportunities. But I honestly, we isolate him. You look at his touches, again, 23 tonight. His touches are few and far between. We have to get someone closer to him. And that is normally Decore. And that's where I'd like to have seen maybe him and Beto tonight, and trying to, for half an hour maybe, or for 15 minutes even, just to see how they work together. I'm sure the manager works with them and training every day and thinks they're not ready for that. But maybe it was just, I don't know, maybe it's just tiredness tonight. Too many games close together. There was the guy next to him was very, the centre back was really big and powerful. Dom actually only won 2 out of 7. He won 2 out of 7 ground duels, but only 1 out of 7 aerial duels, which might mean that he needs a rest. He might need a rest now. Might be a case of we need to put Beto in on Saturday. I don't know. That's up for the manager, but he was off it tonight. But we certainly have to get another player next to him. See, I see things like give youngsters. Who are these youngsters? Who are these youngsters we need to give a shot? Who are these people? There's either him or Beto. Timothy's nowhere near ready. And none of the younger players are ready. So this idea that there's... This is what drives me mad, right? There's an idea that there's like all these players ready to take Dom's place. There's not just one. There's Beto. And we'd have to change our style, the way we play. Right? So we either put Beto in or it's Dom. It's no one else. Timothy's nowhere near ready. Right? Nowhere near ready. Dobbin is nowhere near ready. Dobbin came in at the weekend and couldn't trap a bag of sand. They're players that you introduce slowly, right? And that's what the manager's doing. We've just gone 2 years without Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and look what it did to our side. Look what it did to our side. So it's either him or Beto. But Beto is a very different style of player. He's a player who likes the ball down the flanks. He likes to get into the channel. So that's what we've got. That's what we've got. So it's either Dom or Beto. There's nobody else. And this idea that suddenly we can go, we haven't got youngsters. We've got Schmitty, who's nowhere near ready. If he was near ready, why isn't he coming off the bench? He's not ready. So we have to get more service into Dom. The kind of service he likes, which is into the 6-yard box. He didn't play well tonight. No issue with that. But this idea that we just like throw it all away because he's not scoring goals. To me, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, mate, listen, do us a favour, right? Dobbin isn't ready, and he's not even a centre forward. He is a wide forward. That's what Dobbin is. Go back and watch. People go back and watch him playing for the under-21s. He's a wide forward. That's his position. That's his position. So, again, he isn't a centre-forward. We had this... people were saying this 2 years ago when he was scoring goals for the under-21s. He is a wide forward. He is not a centre-forward. As I'll repeat myself, we've gone through 2 years without having a proper centre-forward. Dom's not in a great run of form in terms of goals. But I tell you what, on Saturday, I thought he played really well. And Beto, and now it's up to the manager to go, right, is it time to put Beto in now and give Dom a chance off the bench? Bring Dom in games late. Because don't forget, when we played Forest, we didn't have Dom. So now maybe the manager goes, well, Beto's got 2 and 3. So now I'll give him an opportunity because Dom needs a little bit of a rest. That's up to the manager to make those decisions. But if Dom suits the way we play, he's going to play Dom. But it's up to us to make more chances for Dom because we just don't make chances for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That's evident. That is absolutely evident. We make, Beto picks up the ball. We've seen him picking up the ball in the halfway line and running with it. That's the kind of player he is. So that's the only decision for me now, whether the manager goes, right, I'll give Beto an opportunity. But the idea that there's anybody else, the idea that Dobbin can come in and lead the line or Dan Juma can come in and lead the line, that's just fantasy. That's just absolute fantasy. And what'll happen is people will just get frustrated, absolutely frustrated, and go, oh, what do we do? To be a centre-forward in the Premier League, you have to be good. You have to be really good. And it's not just about scoring goals. It's not. And we can get frustrated, but honestly, think back over the last 2 years, what it was like to not have a proper centre-forward like Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's in a bit of a rut at the moment. He has to fight his way out of it. Simple as that. He didn't have a good game tonight. The manager took him off and the guy came on, scored. It's exactly what you want. It's exactly what you want. Challenge Dominic Calvert-Lewin to go, come on. This guy's going to take your place off you if you're not careful. That's what we need. But too many people just want to go, oh, let's just get rid of him. Let's just get rid of him. He's not good enough. I think there's a lot of people who just want to be proved right over that they've never liked Dom. People can have bad games, of course they can. Of course they can. Jack Harrison, I thought, was really good on Saturday. I thought he was poor tonight. That's it, innit? So, Dom, I would give Dom a 6.1 for tonight. And let's hope he improves because we're going to need goals. because we've just lost our top goal scorer. Simple as that. Subs, Beto, as I said, come on. Played half an hour. Scored this penalty, scored the goal in the game. Great opportunist goal. Only actually had 12 touches himself. Worked really hard, really infectious work rate. I'll just show you his heat map. His heat map's not exactly great, but there you go. But he done it where it mattered, and he put the ball in the back of the net, took his opportunity, and put the ball in the back of the net, and then put the first penalty in. And he's improving. He's improving all the time, and it's up to the team to get the best out of him. He's because he's such a willing runner, and he will run the channels. He's such a good outball because we can play it round the corner, and he will chase it. We don't play those balls really for Dom because Dom has his back to goal, where Beto's always on the move. So, yeah, I thought he'd done really well. So I would give him a 7.5 for tonight. And it'll be interesting. We'll have to wait and see now what the manager does. Does the manager say, right, is the shirt? Because you've scored a couple of goals and Dom needs a little bit of a break. Or Dom needs to play off the... That's what it's about, isn't it? That's what it's about. It's about having two centre forwards who are battling for an opportunity. And if Beto takes it, brilliant. That says to Dom, work harder. But it's up to Beto to, if he does get a start, to take his opportunities. And maybe, we scored 2 in 3 games. Maybe if the it was 2 in 4 games. Sorry, I'm losing track of time. Losing track of games. Maybe if that chance he got at Forest drops now, he takes it. He takes that chance because he scored a couple of goals. We'll have to wait and see. But let's not lose our minds. Let's not lose our minds about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. There you go. Danjuma, again, got an opportunity tonight. Come on. Obviously, we saw Dobbin come on Saturday, but tonight maybe the manager thought we were 1-0 down, so we thought maybe change it up a little bit, see if to give Danjuma an opportunity with Decore being out. He did all right. He was okay. He tried a few things. Is his heat map obviously out there on the left? Tried a few things. Had the one volley that just went wide? Can imagine if that had gone in. He was trying different things, but just never happened, did it? Never happened. So took a penalty, scored his penalty. So fair play. But I think he did more tonight in the 20 minutes that he was on than he did in the last round against Burnley. So at least that's something. And we're gonna need every player we've got in the next month. And certainly in the next week. Spurs, City, Wolves. We're gonna need every player we've got with the injuries situation. And when you looked at the bench tonight, be interesting to see how many we can get back for Spurs at the weekend. But with Decore possibly out for a few games, we need players to step up. So yeah, Danjuma was alright when he came on, did okay, and took his penalty and scored. So I'll give him a 6.8. So there you go. Disappointing night. Nothing that I haven't suffered before. Doesn't get any easier. We don't tend to win penalty shootouts. Certainly haven't done at Goodison Park. So, yeah, it just feels really deflating, doesn't it? After the last few games and how well we've been playing, and it all just felt like it was building up to this one night, but we just never got going. Fulham never got going. Wasn't a great game. There wasn't loads of chances. There was loads of hustle and bustle, but yeah. That's the way it goes sometimes, and we just, yeah. Could have been big, but there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to give this video a like. Make sure to check out my Gladys Street reaction. Make sure to check out Baz's videos. We'll be doing the final word tomorrow over on Toffee TV Premier. If you want to join us, make sure to click the link in the description or scan the QR code. It's coming up on the screen right now. See you later.